Well, there's a little future project which I'm quite looking forward to doing. These Aero windmills, I've seen these on eBay and other places on the net, and they look really nice. It's a metal kit, about 17 inches in height. The actual windmill is about 5 inches in diameter, and they're really nice. But they're not actually. The reason I bought this is I want to convert this to be able to be driven from a model steam engine. And Jim, who runs the Blue Heelers YouTube channel, he recently did one of these, and they're a really nice model. But apparently a bit fiddly to assemble, but you know, it does say for ages 13 and over, so we might just about cope with that. But yeah, they're a nice. It's a nice model. See if I can zoom in on the packaging a bit for you. And this literally arrived all the way from the States this morning, so we'll be getting on and building this. As I said, it does require modification to be able to be driven from a model steam engine. It's not designed to do that in its standard form, but we should be able to cope with that. So yeah, we'll be coming back to this in the not too distant future. Well, after a good 2 hours of fiddling, the the Aero windmill is assembled. It's worth the effort because it's a lovely model. It really is. And Jim on Blue Heelers was dead right about that. This is a fantastic bit of kit, but it is extremely fiddly to put together. It's finished from the point of view of the construction of the windmill, but now it needs modification for use with a steam engine. I need to put a collar in here so that I can fix this to stop this from turning. And obviously I also need to make a pulley to go on here, and then there needs to be another pulley arrangement at the bottom, and I need to make a base for it as well. Yeah, I'm well pleased with it. It is a nice model. It's a very, very nice model. Now, for anyone thinking of buying one of these, I would definitely recommend one. There's a couple of tips to share you some of the frustrations that I encountered while I was building this. First of all, if you have one of these kind of screwdrivers, which will allow you to grip the screw in the screwdriver, there's various different types. This one I've had for a long time, and it's excellent for small screws like that. That's an absolute godsend when you're trying to put this thing together. I mean, without this, it would be nigh on impossible. Another tip that I discovered while building this is a little drop of super glue, a couple of dabs on these cross members, line it up with the holes, and then just hold it in place so that the super glue takes. That way, when you come to assemble this, you do it one at a time, but you've only got the screw and one loose piece of metal to fiddle with, and the other two pieces are fixed, and that helps a lot. So basically, just on the horizontal cross members, you glue them in place before you put the bolts in, and that makes life a hell of a lot easier. Trust me, it really does. But yeah, what is amazing about this is quite flimsy, these bits of metal, but once it's together, it's a very strong structure. It's very, very rigid. I don't know whether you can spot it, but mine was missing one of the cross members. So one of these is a manufactured one. I've actually made sure it's behind the ladder. It's this one here, because it is a slightly different colour to the rest of them. But I don't think it's too noticeable. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to doing the rest of this and then getting it powered, you know, from a steam engine. So that's the next stage. Well, we finally got the 17-inch Aero windmill finished. Made a little base up for it, and put a pulley arrangement in so that it can be driven from a steam engine. I want to say a little shout out at this point to Jim, who has the YouTube channel Blue Heelers, because I've been thinking about getting one of these for a long time. Having seen them online, it was his video that he did recently, the one that he got, that really inspired me to go out and make this purchase, and I'm so glad I did, because he's right when he says it is a truly lovely model. And I'll put a link in the description to his video, because he's done a slightly different method of driving the windmill, so you can have a look and see what he's done. I've opted for this fairly simple brass block affair with a couple of, let me zoom in, you can have a look at that. Very, very simple. It's just a small brass block with some Meccano pulleys on it, as you can see, and yes, standard urethane drive belt up to a pulley which is on the propeller shaft at the top. Right. Very simple. But yes, it does make a very nice model indeed. There you go. See that turn there. So really, now the next stage is to get it connected up to a steam engine and get the thing driven. Okay, so the engine of choice is the big bad Bowman M101, and the reason that I picked this one is because the Bowman has a massive reduction gear on it. So I don't really want the windmill to spin around like a jet turbine. I want it to spin around reasonably slowly. So I'm hoping that the reduction gearing on the M101 will give us that. I'll move the camera so you can see the size of the reduction gear. There you can see the massive reduction gear on the Bowman. So that should bring the speed down quite considerably. I hope that's the plan anyway. So. Well, I think we've got enough steam pressure, so let's give her a twist, and well, we've got a bit of stiction there, but it's running. Oh, there we go. And thankfully not too fast, which was the whole point of having the reduction gear on the Bowman. Now runs a treat. I'm well pleased with that. Should have clamped the Bowman down, I think. This is starting to dance around the table. Slightly different angle. Yeah, I replaced the larger Meccano pulley with a smaller one. It just seems to run a lot better with the smaller pulley. Yeah, I'm well pleased with that. Just out of interest, I thought we'd try it on the main pulley, not the reduction induced, not the pulley on the reduction gear. And obviously that rotates in a completely different direction. And the windmill runs much better in that direction, and I have no idea why, other than the fact that it's running in the right direction. It shouldn't really make a lot. I mean, obviously that pulley is running at a lot higher speed than the reduction geared pulley, and obviously, as I said, it's rotating in a different direction, but the windmill is now running much smoother. and freer. So not quite sure what's going on there. But that's half the fun of these things, playing around with them, tweaking them, fiddling them. That's what we're all about, really. So I'll bring you around the other side so you can see where it's actually running properly. So here's the side shot. Yeah, so that's obviously the main pulley. There's no regulator on the M101, so I can't really slow it down, unfortunately. It's that speed or nothing. But yeah, it certainly seems to run a lot freer. And you know, other than the angle of the drive belt, which you can't see that making any difference, it just seems to run freer in that direction. So. Oh well, there you go. That's the Aero 17-inch windmill converted to run from a steam engine, being driven in this case by the Bowman M101. And this time we're running it off of the main flywheel pulley. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little video on the Aero 17-inch windmill. Thanks very much for watching. Cheers!